Hey everybody, welcome into the Parker and the Man page at yournews.com. Right there, February 1st, 2010, Feb 1 already. Can you believe that? February the 1st. Here we are into February, and already the NASCARs are back. Daytona 500, which always seems to me like it's supposed to happen later in the month, you know, like Mardi Gras time, although Mardi Gras is a little bit earlier too, will happen on Valentine's Day, 2 weeks from now. The good old boys will be back and rolling in their Super Bowl, the Daytona 500. Super Bowl for NASCAR always starts the season. Not ends the season like Super Bowl week is at this same point. So here we are, and we've got a lot of stuff going on. But the NASCARs have the column today with the Daytona qualifying on Saturday. Also the Bud Shootout. Some stories about, well, actually Dale Earnhardt is a big part of this piece. He'll read why. And if you're a big NASCAR fan, or even if you're not, I think you'll be interested in this. Heck, just read it anyhow. Because if you can believe it, spring is right around the corner. Spring training month as well. But whenever the NASCARs get rolling with Daytona, it always feels like something's close to happening. Groundhog Day is near. National Signing Day is this week. We'll have a column on that too. And the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, are right around the corner. I'll have something on that as well. A little anniversary situation with the Olympic Games. Woo! We're going in and out on this baby today, on this webcam today. So check that out, the NASCAR piece on the Parker and the Man page, yournews.com. Also, Super Bowl week, as I mentioned, now that the Pro Bowl's over. Wasn't that an exciting one? 41-34 won by the AFC with Matt Schaub from the Houston Texans as the MVP. Super Bowl week, Dwight Freeney already has a situation for the Colts. If he's missing the game, the all-pro defensive end, the Saints will have an advantage there. There's a little issue as to what it is exactly. It's an ankle thing. It's either a low ankle sprain or a ligament tear, depending which reports you see, but we'll get more on that this week. But it is Super Bowl week. We have a little bit about that. We'll get more into it as the week goes along. Also, Serena and Federer win at the Australian Open. Beat goes on in professional tennis. Again, you know, outside of the Williams sisters and Andy Roddick, there's not much for American tennis fans to really be into, really sink their teeth into. And Roger Federer, just a machine, keeps rolling right along, his 16th Grand Slam to improve on his already record total, which he passed Pete Sampras last year. So Roger Federer gets started in a good way at the Australian and Serena. Now we can move along and don't have to hear about Serena's sister Venus and her underwear situation, at least till we get to the French Open in May. The Maple Leafs. You ever heard of them? The Toronto Maple Leafs. Remember them? Original six hockey team. Haven't won a Stanley Cup since 66, 67? 42 years ago. Brian Burke made a big trade yesterday. Got rid of about 6 guys. He got about 3-4 back, but he gets the big ones are Dion Phaneuf from the Calgary Flames and Jean-Sebastien Giguere from the Anaheim Ducks. You get the goalie Giguere and the defenseman Phaneuf, both former All-Stars. Phaneuf and Giguere hopefully will try to turn the fortunes of the Leafs around. You know, the Wings, you know, here we are in this year, and the Wings fans are, well, we might not make the playoffs for the first time in 19 years. The Leafs haven't gone in 6. And when you think that they haven't won a cup, one of the most storied franchises in all of sports, the Toronto Maple Leafs, haven't won a cup in 42 years. And actually, I have a little description as to how long that really is. When you think about how old their MVP was that year, how old he is now. It really tells you something about the Toronto fortunes and how bad that situation has been. Currently, the Leafs are in dead last in the Eastern Conference, and only Edmonton has less wins this year. So as bad as things might be this year for the Wings, count your stars lucky for those 4 Stanley Cups in the last 12 seasons. So anyhow, the Leafs make a big deal, and they hope that Phaneuf and Giguere can turn things around. The John Daly retirement this weekend. Weird thing, he had the Golf Channel interview. He was all upset about missing the cut at Torrey Pines, so he says, I'm quitting, I'm done, I can't compete, I'm never going to play again. And he's already committed to the Pebble Beach tournament. So, I mean, like, the guy at the Golf Channel must have gone, wow, what a scoop. I got this John Daly interview, guys, you got to play it. Everybody saw it, and then Daly decides, you know, they don't pay, sponsorships don't pay for retired stinky golfers. They'll pay for active stinky golfers, but not retired ones. So it looks like John Daly's going to continue on here, although he hasn't done anything in a while. And of course, with the AWOL exile of Tiger Woods, which I'll also have a piece on because we got to start writing some stuff on this guy. PGA Tour's rolling right along here, and he's nowhere to be found. It gave us a little excitement with the John Daly retirement. The Pistons lose to Orlando. I got nothing. They're 15-31, and they got a big game, a huge game for the Pistons. Listen to me, people, a huge game for the Pistons on Tuesday. They play at New Jersey. The Nets are 4-42. So if you think 15-31 is bad, 4-42 really tops that. And the Grammy Awards on Sunday. Pretty hot open with Lady Gaga and Elton John. Black Eyed Peas were great. I was waiting for Kanye to bust in on Taylor Swift. And maybe you can explain the Taylor Swift fascination. She won 3 Grammys. I don't get it. But it was a cool deal at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, and I thought it was one of the better Grammy shows I'd seen in a long time. So I got a little comment on that too. So check it all out there. You got it all going on. Daytona week, Super Bowl week. The main piece is about Daytona and the Daytona 500 coming up on Valentine's Day. Serena and Federer. The Leafs make the trade for Giguere and Phaneuf. John Daly's retirement. And the Pistons losing in the Grammys on Sunday. There you go. It's all there for you on the Parker and the Man page at yournews.com. Happy February. #1. Can you believe we're in February already? Unbelievable.